What's up, nerds, and welcome back to a new tech video. I am Mark Damati from Noisy Pixel, and today we have a brand new product, controller that is, from a company that was originally European, coming west with Rig, and that controller slash product is the new Rig slash Nacon Pro Compact Wired Atmos controller.
Noisy Pixel.
Just want to say a huge shout out to Rig and Nacon for sending this out. We have some other projects coming up and I'm glad to be working with you guys and I'm excited to try this out. Just looking at the box, I love the branding, I love the simplicity and the big bold type, as well as just the way the style that Rig allows branding to go is really nice. Now, Dolby Atmos, if for all you don't know, is the newest and best surround sound codec or form that allows three-dimensional audio as opposed to linear. It's going to allow you to hear rain going over your head and things go really traveling over you and around you rather than just to the sides. Amongst many other features such as customizability, the biggest thing that stands out to me is that this controller comes with an activation for 2 years of Dolby Atmos, and any controller that you plug in with 3.5mm jack to this controller will receive Atmos support. So any headset you have will now do Atmos, which is pretty amazing, or at least do Atmos to the best of its ability. But that's pretty nice. There's other benefits from Atmos other than just surround sound, just improve the audio quality. So let's open this bad boy up. I'm so excited to put it in my hands for the first time. And we just have a few tabs at the top. Now, this particular controller I have is actually just for Windows and Xbox, but they do have a PlayStation version that you can go check out. So here we go, it's just gonna slide out just like this. This controller is a built-in wired controller, so there's no detachable wire. For ultra low latency, it's gonna use USB 2.0. Got a manual right here on the ground. So this is how it's packaged. We have the kind of cable spooled at the top that kind of just unwraps here, just like that. And we can just pop this wire out. Packaging's okay, nothing special. I would have hoped to see something a little bit nicer, but you know, hopefully the product makes up for that. Flappy puzzle. So here we go, we're gonna take it out of the plastic. We got a really nice thick braided cable here. So here we go, guys. This is our Nacon Rig Pro Compact controller, new to the US, pretty interesting. So let's just quickly get a feeling for the controller. And this is very different from what we're probably used to gaming wise, but honestly, first impressions, I really kind of like the responsiveness of the controller. The sticks feel really nice, and they do have this nice golded plated ring around it. Now, I do have to read the manual on this, but we do have a switch on the back of the controller here. I'm not really sure what that's for as of right now, but I guess we will figure that out for sure. I mean, that's really gonna do it for the unboxing section. Not too much to go over here, just a controller, no adapters or anything, just USB wired controller. We're gonna give this a test, play some video games with it, plug in some audio so we can test out different headsets to see how the style of sound changes with the Atmos support on every headset. And yeah, there's a lot to go over here, so please stick around for the review.
We're all thinking the same thing. Console controllers have been rising in price due to some sort of demand in complex hardware. There must be a solution. Well, luckily, import markets exist where we can reap the benefits of Nacon's wired gaming Atmos controller. This controller may be complex on the outside, but brings it home with simplicity, customizability, and affordability, as long as you can live with a wired controller. My first impression of the Nacon Pro Compact controller is that it's rather sleek. The gold vinyl under the control sticks make you feel like you're holding a premium product, but maintaining that edgy look you cling onto as you age. The ABXY face buttons are probably my biggest design complaint. It simply looks like they cared about every other part of the controller except for these buttons. They just appear to be a little cheesy, but I digress. The braided cable is thick and durable, with just enough flex on the wire to be tolerable. Although the wire was a bit thick, it did make me perceive the controller as premium. Still, I'm concerned about the texture on the control sticks, as they are almost non-existent. You might expect to slip your sweaty fingers off of these, not so rubber joysticks. On the other hand, they did provide a nice clicky noise. The bumpers and triggers are impressive, with firm yet snappy responsiveness to the press. Personally, the Nacon Pro Compact's texture felt nice, but in general, this was another almost non-existent design choice. It is very subtle to the touch, so if you like rubber and grippy handles, this is not the controller. When it comes to the selling points of the Nacon Pro Compact controller, we can break it down into a few key features: wired format, customizable sensitivity, Dolby Atmos integration, and I guess the fact that it's small. Let's take a look at these points to analyze its performance and how it relates. When it comes to the wire design, I don't know if it made much of a difference in latency. The thick wire became more of a nuisance than a benefit when playing, especially when there are other wireless options available. The customizable controller buttons are cool, but it's become fairly standard. Still, it's good to have given the $49.99 price tag. The joystick and trigger settings are unique as they offer 4 different sensitivity presets ranging from FPS to racing. I would have liked to see more depth in this feature, as I felt underwhelmed after experimenting with them. I found that the racing or FPS preset was most natural. The other presets threw off my game and even had the sticks move on their own from time to time. I recommend sticking to the default settings on this one. It would have been nice to have let me manually set my sensitivity value instead of having 4 locked presets. Dolby Atmos is a huge selling point of this controller if you are an audio nerd. High fidelity audio shouldn't be overlooked in gaming or life, as you don't know what you're missing out on until you hear it. Anyway, Dolby Atmos is simply 3D audio, and this headset is supposed to have built-in Atmos support on whatever platform you're using. I tried a few headsets with the controller, and I can't complain, it sounded great for being powered through the controller. I am fairly concerned about audio quality, and I want to throw it in here that I couldn't really hear much of a difference on my stereo native headsets. It did sound great, but I was unsure if I was taking advantage of my Atmos, which leads me to my closing point about the controller. With all of this Atmos hype, no code was really provided. I was left reading everywhere, including the manual and online forums, that this controller automatically hosts Atmos with no needed activation. So I am sitting here, opening up Dolby Access, with it telling me to pay for the service or use the trial version, with no sight of confirmation that my controller is doing its job. This was a little frustrating, as the placebo effect kicks in, and I'm unsure if I have Atmos because I didn't see that I have Atmos. Confusing? Yet a real user experience flaw I encountered. It just left me thinking more than I wanted to about my settings. Oh yeah, and if your hands are too big, no worries. This controller is designed to be compact for the sake of having less distance between buttons. This way, your reactions in gaming improve, and I can say I won my first 2 Fortnite games in a row, and I haven't played in months. Nor do I even play the game. Maybe the controller does improve your gameplay. Overall, I enjoyed my experience, for the most part, with Nacon Rig's Pro Compact Controller. Some things seemed a little off design-wise, but the product is decent at the price point of $50. If you are on a budget, this is a fun little second or third controller with no worry about batteries, nor audio quality. Throw it in your on-the-go gaming backpack, take it to your friend's house, or keep it at home for your main controller that never needs a charge. If anything decks points off of this controller, it would be my Atmos conundrum. The wired selling point that isn't really a selling point, and the limits on their coolest feature, the sensitivity controls of the sticks and triggers. Noisy Pixel is giving the Nacon Rigged Pro Compact Controller a C. Thank you for watching. Noisy Pixel is a group of gamers who work hard to deliver news, reviews, previews, and more. Please subscribe to keep up with all of our future content. See ya, nerds.
Noisy Pixel.